All right, Em, you got the lights up?
Yeah, the lights are all on. Didn't you put them on earlier? I thought you did.
They're your lights. I'm just making sure that you knew.
Yeah, we're all good. We're good to go.
All right,
Yeah.
we're good. Everything is neat and tidy.
Yeah, as far as I can. Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's start
3,
recording.
2, 1. Oh my God.
Remember that time when you said we were gonna get the memory card out?
Yeah, I completely spaced out my brain. I don't know what's wrong with my brain today. Sorry about that. We totally dropped the ball on that one.
Let's just blame the rain for this, cause we're kind of scatterbrained.
But my brain hurt me. I had an ear infection, ear freaking block, and then I almost lost my equilibrium because of my freaking balance being off from my ear being blocked. Bloody hell!
Oh, bloody hell, indeed. All right, let's get the damn memory card and get started.
All right, sounds good, Dad. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Emily, and this is Caswell. Right?
You couldn't wait. I didn't set the timer yet.
I thought you were gonna set it already.
No, I said I was going to set up the camera. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna start the start the timer. Try to make sure that I'm properly in frame.
Okay.
And then do it.
Well, we can tell the audience right now that we're setting it for 15 minutes. We have a 15-minute video. This is our rule. Every time we upload a video to YouTube, 15 minutes only. While we gain our audience, you the audience, and then once we go further into our YouTube future, we can be longer than 15 minutes down the road.
Yep, and at this point, until we actually get a fan base, a working fan base, we will actually leave it up to you as to how you like our episodes. Do you like the original 20 to 30 minutes that we have for our first 2 episodes, or do you like the 15 minutes that we're going to do starting from our 3rd episode going onwards? Hopefully that what we say to all of you guys will be hopefully enlightening, also as not so much as alarming, but at least it gives you a sense of awareness as to what Emily and I have been going through. I'm sure for like the first 2 episodes, it's been mostly Emily with certain experiences that she's been going through in terms of what you went through with her ex in our first episode, with how they're secretly, how exes are
they're not secretly over you. Sorry to interrupt. Do you want to put the timer on right now before you forget?
Well, it's just an intro, so
okay, silly Billy. Okay. My goodness.
Timer starts now.
Okay.
This goes to show you how professional we are.
Yes, real professional. We get distracted very easily. Here is the timer. 15 minutes. As if we are clowns that are at the circus and we have ADHD, even though I don't actually have ADHD, neither do you. I'm just poking fun at ourselves. No worries. All right, would you like me to start talking, or you can talk? Because I yak a lot like a duck. I'm a quack. Apparently I'm a quack, according to my ex-co-host. I'm a quack.
Well, we don't talk about those things here.
I know.
We don't talk about
worries.
that stuff here.
No,
it's a new show. It's a new podcast. It's a new video podcast, I should say.
Yeah.
And this is the podcast where we just let loose on each other and anything
have fun.
goes.
For the hell of it, have fun.
Most importantly, just have a good time.
Whether we're talking about tissues and blowing your nose, the most random topics, to a creepy guy that is coming up to you on the subway who looks like he has his junk falling out. Sorry if that was TMI, too much information. My apologies.
Nope.
Okay,
no,
I've
heard worse.
Yeah, these are my horror stories. Alright, so today's topic is going to be... Sorry, there's crazy people live upstairs above me. If you hear dogs yapping in the background, that's what it is. Yes.
Well...
Do you have a comment?
Here we have our share of... I guess you could say neighbors, and when it comes to, in actuality, having courtesy for others and how that could be non-existent.
Yes, we are talking about
selfishness
courtesy and selfishness. Exactly, that's what the topic today is going to be about, the 21st century and the year of 2018, and how far too many people, pardon my language, simply don't give a damn. They simply don't give a crap. Trying to watch the language here. Couldn't care less about anyone except for themselves. I'm guilty of doing it. I'm not an angel. I'm not a saint. I'm not Mother Teresa.
Well,
just saying.
Oh well, you're a big person for admitting that. But honestly, who among us are enough to say that we haven't done that? I'm guilty of that. I'm not ashamed to admit that.
Yeah.
Like there are some things that you just can't control. You have to figure out what's right, what's wrong, and. You just act accordingly. I can't really go in depth on it. I mean, for someone like me, in high school, shit, I can't.
Oh, language, babe! 18 and under. Just kidding. There's little kids watching this. I'm kidding. High school, you give an example of selfishness in high school. Do you want to talk about today, 2018 examples?
No, I was talking about my ability to analyze. What I was trying to say is that I get that off of a friend of mine who is very analytical, and I'm trying to be the same thing, or at least I got that from him where he was like that in high school, and I'm kind of like that now in my age post high school, post college, and it's like you don't see what's in perspective until you look at it from what you went through in your past.
Empathy.
And
having some empathy.
What you hear from others, and like the last 2 episodes, as I previously mentioned, what Emily had shared with what she went through, and that's like the level of empathy that I want to invoke, because even though there are a lot of things, a lot of aspects that personally I can't understand, and I'd be bold-faced lying to you if I were to say, oh, I understand how you feel, because realistically I don't, and there's no conceivable way I will ever understand unless I'm actually in the same...
Unless you've gone through it. You cannot understand what somebody else has gone through. Like, here we are judging celebrities. This is just one example, okay? This is an example. Everyone thought, wow, my brain's gonna throw a blank. Robin Williams, my brain, that was his name. Oh my goodness.
God rest his soul.
Yes, Robin Williams. His last name was Williams. My brain is hurting from the rain. You'll have to forgive me. The barometric pressure puts a bullet in my head.
It's like, finally we get spring.
Wonderful weather in Canada.
Weather yesterday. Okay, well, as I was saying, yesterday the weather was nice.
Beautiful.
It was the first taste of spring that we've had
since last September.
And then today it was just a downpour.
The weather was being a daft prick. Was it not? The sodding rain was just wretched. Absolutely ghastly, if I say so myself. And you can think that my British accent sucks. It's perfectly fine. But I've never even gone to England in my entire life, so before you criticise, have some empathy for those Canadians that are half British, just like myself, who have never once gone to the United Kingdom in their entire life. There we go. Talking about empathy. Here we go. You can't understand if you're my age. Your mother's born in England, born in Kent, which is only an hour away from France, by the way. But yet you love to say that, oh, her British accent sucks. She can't do an accent to save her life. Well, screw you too. Sort off and have a nice, wonderful life yourself. That was very rude of me. I'm sorry. That was comedy. I hope you let that out. Yes, stop. I'm very angry about that. Now, going back to topic. Speaking of empathy. All right. So here's an example. You want to continue talking about empathy? You want to give your example about empathy and why people are busy with their making money, paying bills, jobs, family. If they've got kids at our age, a lot of people have kids at our age.
Emily, it's not that hard. You gotta take into account that, like, if you want to hang out with someone, the best example I can say is if you want to hang out with someone, you want to just chill, you want to go to like the Eaton Center, if you want to go to Yorkdale, if you just want to go play video games at the other guy's house, but they're like, oh, I'm currently busy with school, there's an exam that I have to study for, there's a lot of projects that is due in coming weeks, and you gotta be extra careful not to go over the deadline, or you want to make sure that you put in as much effort as you can, because I'd say for some people you can't focus properly unless you devote 100% of your time towards it, and you want to make sure you're not distracted. That's the thing. Don't take it as like you're getting in the way. You just have to be courteous for another person and what they're doing. That's like for school, and for jobs it's a lot more complicated because it's a fixed schedule. You don't have any control of that unless you have some kind of authoritative power in the management.
Or you work online from your laptop, which is what I plan on doing very soon. I do plan on becoming self-employed. My dad happens to know a lot about online business and making money with, like, cryptocurrency and all that online, or Bitcoin. But that's another story for another day. We're not going to get off topic here. But, yeah. So basically, like, for example, me, I mentioned this before, I lost, 4 friends last year? One of them, it was his mother that was being selfish. He doesn't have to deal with public transit in the big city every single day like you and I have to. So it's fine and dandy. You're going to say, oh, not my problem. She can't come up to north of Toronto. Okay, so I guess I'm just going to stop being friends with her and block and delete her off Facebook and delete her number.
Isn't that the same guy where you were going to his place, but his mother burned down the food?
Yes.
Oh, okay,
That's
yeah.
right,
I'm just making sure because you mentioned that in the previous episode.
I know, I did. So just an example. Look, I'm not saying he's a bad person. I would have liked to still have been friends with him. That's his choice if he wants to cut me out of his life over something over that. That's perfectly fine, you know.
Well, things happen.
I forgive you. You know what? Like maybe I'll see you down the road and I'll buy my plane ticket when I go to England. Because he was going to, he's a travel agent. He's actually going to help me get a discount on going to England. Because he works at a travel agency north of Toronto. We won't say the specific location. It's where Melissa's from. By the way, Melissa, my friend, if you're watching this video, I just wanted to say thank you so much for being sweet. And she accidentally bought a Metro Pass for the week for Toronto, and she doesn't live here in Toronto. And as an example of being a selfless friend, I'd hold up the card right here, but I don't have it with me. It's in my purse, which is right in front of me over there. The card
like
here.
Literally right there.
Yes, well, if you want to grab it for me and be my guest, you're more than welcome to, so I can show the audience what a lovely, kind thing my friend did for me. She accidentally bought it first, so she gave it to me. Because she knew that I go to work every day and I live in Toronto. There's an example of a selfless act. You're more than welcome to grab my purse.
Oh, you actually want me to do it?
Yes, silly Billy.
Okay.
He's not always the best at taking hints and cues sometimes. Just joking, just joking. Oh, just grab me the purse, silly Billy. Grab me the purse. I'm sorry. I didn't think it's okay. It's okay. I wasn't very clear with my communication. Another problem with communication is humans. We misunderstand each other very easily. Wouldn't you say? Making a bloody point here. The sorry.
Either that, or I just suck at paying attention.
Oh, it's alright. I go in my own headspace as well. Oh my goodness. I got too many cards in here, ladies and gentlemen. Do not copy Emily Carpenter. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, we can't find the starting card.
I can talk.
You can talk. You talk. I can't find the card. I'm a scatterbrain. And I'll admit that full-heartedly. My grandmother used to call me a scatterbrain. My lovely grandmother, who's in a better place right now. Lovely Margaret Richards, who died in October 29th, 2016, 2 days before Halloween. Weird time to die before Halloween, isn't it? Right around Halloween. Going into my normal voice. Sorry, I can't find the card. I'm a scatterbrain. Making a point. Oh, it always disappears when I want to talk about it. Ah, there it is! Abracadabra, magic wand.
And it reappears in the most convenient time.
Melissa, help me get this card for this week, right here, making a point, clear point. She helped me get this, and if it wasn't for her, you know what? That meant a lot to me.
With work, it's a fixed schedule. You have no control over it unless you're in correlation with management, or if you actually are lucky enough to have a good working relationship with your boss, so that way you can have flexibility with your schedule, so you could come in at certain hours, whether you're working part-time or full-time.
Yeah.
And with class, you are also on a fixed schedule. I guess it's a little more lenient, so that way they accommodate for extracurricular activities, the amount of homework that you get for the day, and the other classes you have for the campus, because I'm not sure if you know, the campuses are freaking huge. They're very spacious, so you have to go from one building to another to get to and from classes, and you have a certain amount of time, so that way you're not late and you're not missing out on anything. And it's like you have all of those things that you have to take into account, and you have to keep doing it repeatedly. You don't really have time for a social life, and if you do, the days of having a social life are few far between, and seeing however many friends you want are even fewer and even further between.
Yeah. Basically,
you can only choose who you want to
hang out with. You gotta be selective. Sorry to interrupt. You weren't finished. I don't want to interrupt you. I'm a quack. I talk too much sometimes. Sorry. You have a chatterbox. Like a jack in the box who chatters too much.
I guess from my point you had an idea.
Yes, I jump in when I got ideas. My mouth likes to run, doesn't run at the same speed as my brain. Or my brain runs at the faster speed than my mouth.
Your mouth is like a hamster on a wheel. Once it starts, it just keeps going until it takes a break.
Yeah. Anyhow, going on. Yes, very funny. Good point. My brain. Wow, where did I see my brain? So
you actually had something to say, and it's gone.
It's sorting thing. Oh my god, I'm sorry, audience. I'm sorry.
As you can see here on the Em&Cas Vodcast, we are
very scatterbrained. Point being is bloody hell. My point is, you have to be selective with the friends that you choose. I barely have any time for anybody else, yet alone myself. This is how society works today in North America, especially. I've never been to Europe. Like I said, I've never even been to England before, so I can't comment on Europe. But North America,
God knows we wish.
The States is as bad as Canada with this. I got lots of friends in the States from boarding school and everything else, and we don't talk to each other for months sometimes. Sometimes, my friend who gave me this passport, I hadn't seen her in 6 months. We hung out last week. I hadn't seen her since her birthday last October. She came up the last week of April. I hadn't seen her in over 6 months.
Well, that's just the thing with adulthood. People drift away.
It's not even just adulthood. Please turn that off. What is that sounding sound? Is it the timer?
Yeah.
Oh dear!
That's also the Super Mario
Hey, lovely! We went over our time. Wow, we talked too much. We really need to stop talking and get more to the point. Going on anyway.
Or we could just make these videos longer.
Or we
have a lot to say.
We do. We talk a lot. We're going to make this entertaining. So continuing on, my grandmother always said my grandmother was one of the most selfless people that I ever knew growing up. If I needed a helping hand, she's very generous with her money, very giving person. If I was sick, she looked after me as a kid. I was the only granddaughter, so she spoiled me. I'll admit, she gave me this laptop she gave me, which won't even turn on now. But she's very, if someone was ever selfish in the family, she'd point it out. She wouldn't have a problem telling you if you were selfish. She was right. There's a lot of things that my grandmother said to me growing up that I didn't want to listen to as a kid. Like, don't read in the car. She's right. I get migraines when I read in the car or on the bus. Any moving inanimate object or vehicle. Not a subway. I can read on the subway. I can read on the train. But I cannot read on the bus, on the car, etc. She's right. Don't read in the car. It's bad for you. She's right. Sit up straight. You're slouching. I never listened. Oh, Grandma, I'm young. That's not going to matter. I can sit however I want. No,
it does matter.
She's
no matter
completely
how old you are.
right. Oh, no. I was like 6 or 7. Never listened to her. 10, 9, 10, 8, 9,
It's
10.
funny. My mom's the exact same
she's
way.
prim and proper, my grandma. She really was prim and proper, though. If you farted, or you did something very unladylike, she'd tell you, go to the loo. You're making terrible smells. Sorry if this isn't funny to you. It's funny you're laughing. It's like, go to the loo-hoo. We're British, you see. We don't say restroom like the sorting Americans. We say, go to the loo.
Take that, America.
Yeah, you see. If you guys are a fan.
No.
It's okay.
We're joking,
I love Americans, even though some of them have done me wrong, like my stalker, who I mentioned in the other video. He knows who he is if he's watching.
Both literally
this.
and figuratively, if you get my drift.
What do you mean by that?
You said did you wrong.
Yes, just a little bit. Anyhow, oh my God, my grandmother. If I even put my elbows on the table, if I didn't chew with my, if I ate food with my mouth open, what?
No.
What? If I what? Dragon? What?
No, I was saying try again because we've been flubbing all episode.
You sound like I thought you said dragon. I'm like, what?
No, I have this annoying habit of talking really quickly.
So do I. I can't talk sometimes. I get tongue-tied. She sells seashells in the seashore.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
Whoa, you gotta tell it right there. This is another video we're gonna have for one of our episodes. Tongue twisters, tongue ties. There's an R one, something rugabuggy, something. I can't remember. Anyhow, getting to the point. Grandma always said, put yourself before others. We are not on this earth to benefit ourselves. We are on this earth to make the world a better place and to show the light, emphasis with lights here in the background, be the light of the world. My grandmother, when I was 5, she saw a homeless man in Montreal sitting on the streets. One of his arm, he was missing an arm. His arm was cut off.
Oh,
left or right arm. I was 5 and I have this memory very clearly. I was 5 years old. I remember this as if it was yesterday. And she had, she put her blanket, or was it her blanket? Her shawl, not a blanket. Her shawl. In England, when it's cold, she used to wear these shawls, that's like, it's a big scarf that you put over your shoulders. You know what I'm talking about? They call them shawls in Britain.
Oh, yeah.
Shawls. Instead of, it's not a blanket, but you know what I mean. It's like a scarf blanket, maybe thinner material.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Those things that you wrap around yourself? It's a big scarf. Like it's, you'd have to look it up.
Oh, yeah. I think I do.
But
I would, as you said, I would have to look it up.
Okay, yeah. So continuing, it's British. That's why, dear. No worries. You're not 100% British. You wouldn't understand. I'm joking.
Well, let's just say I'm a Canadian trying to be a Britishman trapped in a Jamaican's body.
All right, good to know. So, Grandma, if my mom was being selfish, if I was being selfish, my dad, my uncle, whoever, she'd never be afraid of pointing out. Now, sometimes she wouldn't always say it to their face. That was one thing. She could be weak. And I'm not talking badly about my grandma. In other words, saying don't bend over backward to be a doormat. I'm not saying you should be a doormat by any way.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, no. You don't let people take advantage of you. I'm going not the hard way. No. I'm not saying be a doormat. I'm not saying be a pushover. That's not what I'm saying. There's a happy medium balance. But at the same time, if you're like, for example, someone in the entertainment industry, as an example, someone comes up with a project you know, and you're part of that project, but it was their idea for the original project. You don't go ahead and steal that person's idea or steal that person's script and then give yourself credit for it. There's one example of being selfish.
Exactly. We don't trust you, and you're a douchebag for doing it.
Yeah, basically. And first example, I'm not talking about you. My experience with some men is they look at a girl, they like her body. Okay, what's in it for me? I'll buy her lunch. I'm not giving it because I like her or I want to get to know her better. I just want her for her body. That's selfishness right there. Sorry if that's very blunt, gentlemen. I'm not saying all of you men are like that, but I've had my fair share of experiences. You're very quiet. You're very, very quiet.
No, I'm just, well, okay. Well, I'm just taking into account what you said and the severity of what it means to really take advantage of someone, and that's actually pretty common, not just in the film industry, but in all aspects of life, really, where they see an attractive woman and they will do anything they can to be with said woman and
sexually. Sorry if this is vulgar, ladies and gentlemen, but this is the truth here. I'm a very blunt individual. If I had a hot dog in my mouth, I'd use it as emphasis, but I don't.
Oh, really?
Sorry for the crude humor here. I'm not trying to offend anybody by any means. I'm half British. You think a Brit would have more class, and she wouldn't be so sodding crude and vulgar, wouldn't you?
I'd say if you watch a show like The In-Betweeners, you have a lot. No, it's a great show.
Never even heard of it.
You're half British and you never heard of it?
I'm terrible. I'm an imposter. I'm fake. The Spice Girls also kick me out, and I haven't even been yet. Victoria Beckham would be appalled if she knew I never even heard, and so would Hugh Grant and Keira Knightley. All right.
I'm sure James Buckley would be a little more calm, but I'd say James Buckley. He's the guy that played Jay in The In-Betweeners. He's one of the guys. He's one of the actors that played it. But long story short, it's he's a really cool dude. Okay. And James Buckley, if you're watching this, shout out to you, bro. Well, like The In-Betweeners, they have a lot of vulgarity and a lot of humor that's very British-esque. Okay. And for me, I get a lot of admiration for the United Kingdom as a whole because of my mom, who watches a lot of British content. Shows like Coronation Street as the main example, EastEnders as another one, and it's like, wow, how is she into all these shows? And then I figured that when I heard about the In-Betweeners, I was looking up some clips on YouTube, and I was busting a gut laughing.
Bus wankers!
Point being said is, I'll often message somebody, like some of my friends, and again, it's nothing personal. I've probably done the same thing, but you keep saying, let me know your schedule when you want to hang out. Weeks go by, we never hang out. Let me know your schedule when you want to hang out. If you truly want to hang out with someone, if somebody is a true friend to you, and I know I'm not one to talk because depending on how far away the friend was, sometimes I've blown friends off a lot when I've had a lot going on in my life. Sometimes you don't always mean it to do it intentionally.
Well, it's really all in the timing. It's never your fault. If anything, the other person just forgot. Yeah, they have so much shit to do, and there's just things that completely slip our mind. And
you don't mean to. Yeah,
it's like you want to hang out with someone.
Yeah, reminder on your phone. Put a flippin' reminder on your phone. Try and make the effort. Like for me, I'll have to make the effort with one person. They'll forget. They'll make the effort with me. I forget. That's part of the reason why I lost my friend up north. So give him credit. He did make effort. Do you want to come over? Do you want to come over to my cottage? And I was worried about money. I had my work. I put my career before him.
Bottom line is, it's just life. Things come in the way, and you can't really do anything about it. Yeah. You just let it happen. Life happens.
Yeah. And anyway, getting to the point about being selfless. There's a little girl. I made a video about this on Facebook a few weeks ago. I was going up to Tim Hortons up the road from where I live to work on my script for this project that I'm working on. And a homeless guy came up to me, like literally an arm's length away. The homeless guy came up to me. You don't go on Facebook very often, dear, so you probably wouldn't have seen it because you don't like social media, and I keep telling you to do it to help your career, but no.
It still sucks.
Mr. Caswell doesn't like social media. Anyhow, getting to the point.
That's another episode for another day as to why I hate it so much.
Yes, we've already talked about that in another episode, dearie.
And it failed to upload.
I know. Continuing on. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Start from scratch. So, this homeless guy, he was smelling like a sewer. Sorry if this sounds bad. It was horrible. And he kept swearing out loud, talking to himself. He was on something, and I know this sounds bad. Was he bugging you, Emily? Okay, move somewhere else. I stayed there for almost an hour and he didn't move. Almost 1 hour and he didn't move, and I'm trying to concentrate on a bloody script. Sorry. I got really annoyed with that. Excuse the dogs upstairs.
I swear to God, I'm gonna
Me too. Continuing. Anyway, when I went back down from Tim Hortons, I said, forget it. I can't do the script. The place is too crowded. I can't concentrate. It's not even just the noise. It's having any homeless person, all the seats being taken. That's another problem living in the big city. Well, maybe find another video. Pros and cons of living in the big city. You live your whole life, you have lots of stories, I'm sure. Continuing on. So I found this girl's phone on a bench when I was at the bus stop on my way home, and I decided to return the phone to her. She was a 10-year-old little girl. That was a selfless act of me giving some of my time. I didn't have the time to give it to her, but her mother called me late. I ended up like waiting to hear back from her mom, and it was a lack of communication between the two of us. And I was actually one subway stop where I said, okay, if I don't hear from her mom in the next hour, I'm gonna go. I gotta go on my way. I'll give it to her another day, but I'm very busy. You know, I had things I had to do that day. Yeah. But her mom got a hold of me, and I was the only one to stop away from where I live, and I'm not gonna give away where I live on the internet, of course. But anyway, so I went back to the subway, and I gave it to her. She really appreciated it. She said my little girl didn't even tell me she lost her phone. She didn't even tell her. She's only 10 years old.
She didn't even know.
The mother never knew. The mother wouldn't have known if I told her. She never would have known.
Oh,
she's a 10-year-old kid.
Oh, okay.
10-year-old kids don't
kids
cell
usually
phones
hides things when
they have
something bad happens.
Yeah, they have cell phones nowadays. When I was 10, I never had a cell phone.
When I was 10, I had a Game Boy Advance. I was playing Pokemon Emerald.
Yeah, this is our generation, the millennial generation. We're not going to give away our age. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching this video. We know it went on very long. We've got several comedy ideas coming up. I work in lingerie, so I won't give away anything more than that, but we're going to have a few comedy scenes regarding that. I've got a couple of good ideas.
Oh, good.
So if you have a story about you being selfless, your random act of kindness. I went to this group in high school called Random Act of Kindness where we did good deeds for people in high school who were bullied, people who had a disadvantage, people in the community. Years ago, I've got lots of stories I want to share from my childhood that we'll also share. And if you have a story that you gave from the goodness of your heart, or somebody that wronged you and you forgave them, like my stalker, who I said I forgave, he admitted to being selfish. Over the phone. Yeah, a year ago he admitted to being selfish, and we won't get into that, like I said, but I'll give him credit. I saw that side of him where he admitted he was being selfish, and he apologized, and he did say I was a dirtbag, I was wrong for what I did, and it was all about me. So I saw that in that regard he had changed. That's another story for another day. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't be shy. Let us know what we can improve on. You know what? Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever floats your boat, right? See you in the
it would really help us if you gave us a thumbs up. It would help out our channel.
Subscribe and share all throughout Facebook. And we want to be the light in the world. We want to make that difference for people and really inspire people who are going through tough times. And suffering is what makes people selfless.
Because when there's light, there's a path. When there's darkness, all you have is oblivion.
Yes, and when you suffer, it's just not going to go anywhere. You know, I mean, sorry, when you suffer. When you don't suffer, what am I saying? My brain's not working today. I'm sorry. When you suffer, you're selfless. You've gone through a lot. You have a lot more empathy than others. And I'm sorry if this sounds bad, but I had an old friend of mine who she hasn't really gone through many things in her life. She hasn't gone through a lot of things where she's gone through difficult times in her life, and she wasn't there for me. Before we end this video, there's this song I want to check out. I want you to check out. I'm sorry I can't talk today.
It's okay. We're on a roll. We might as well keep going while we're behind.
Yes. Okay. Continuing on. There's a song, and maybe it sounds a bit blunt and it sounds a bit rude, but she's really putting people in her place by JoJo. JoJo's one of my favorite singers. I sang her song at a talent show when I was 11, Leave Get Out. If I could someday collaborate with her as a singer, it would be a dream come true. She shares the same month as me. Her birthday December 20th. My birthday is December 5th. Anyway, JoJo makes a song called Fake-Ass Bitch. And I know it's
I love that you are condemning me for swearing this.
That's okay, I'm a hypocrite. I'm a hypocrite. There we go, I admit it. I'm just a hypocrite. Humans are hypocrites. H for hypocrite, H for human. If I was to make an acronym of a human, H, the first letter would be H for hypocrite. Continuing on, I'm sorry. F.A.B. She calls it F.A.B. by JoJo. She's telling you, where were you when I was suffering? Where were you when I was going through hard times? That song is so inspiring, and it applies to so many of us.
Because it's real.
Yeah, whatever she says, I play this song right now, but I'm afraid of copyright with YouTube. Fake-ass bitches. Oh my goodness, yes! Thanks for coming in. I'm gonna hit you in the face with this pillow right now. Not this pillow. I'm gonna whack! Okay, sorry. We're making a lot of noise, but that's what the people upstairs get for yapping their dogs. She plays Fake-ass bitches, and I love this song, and I know I'm swearing, man, but you know what? She is right. You're a female dog. You are a female dog, and I'm not laughing about this. There were girls who are backstabbing. Where were you when I was needing someone? It's called F.A.B. F.A.B. JoJo. F.A.B. JoJo. And we all know what F.A.B. stands for. It's not fabulous, it is Fake-ass bitch. This is the ending of the video, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, more going on. Thank you so much for watching.
All right.
JoJo is inspiring.
Stuck around that long
I hope
for
you-
all of that.
I love this song. JoJo, you are my inspiration. You would sink to the bottom if you have my problems. There we go. We're a selfish world. You can't handle it. You when I needed you. I'm not singing right now. When I needed you. I love this song. Fake ass bitches. There we go. You don't be a F.A.B. Don't be an F.A.B. Don't be a fake ass bitch. Okay, bye.
All right. This is Emily. I'm your resident Enigma and the leader of the Alpha Club Casual Shop. Signing out.